Most people think the rich are rich because they earn more money, but that's not true. Because the real secret of the wealthy is not how much they earn, it's how they hide it. Not illegally, not secretly in cash, but through systems, strategies, and structures that are completely legal and almost invisible. And once you understand how this works, you'll never look at money the same way again. When you see a billionaire, what do you notice? Luxury cars, massive houses, private jets. It looks like their wealth is everywhere. But in reality, what you say, crowd, is only a small part of what they actually own. Because most of their wealth is hidden in plain sight. Not hidden from the law, but hidden from understanding. And that's the difference. Because the average person is taught how to earn money. But the rich, they are taught how to protect it, structure it, and quietly grow it without losing control. And in this video, we're going to break down the exact systems they use, step by step, in a way that anyone can understand. Let's start with the biggest mindset shift. Most people believe that money equals income. You work, you earn, you save. Simple. But the wealthy don't see money like that at all. For them, money is not just something you earn, it's something you control. Because income can stop, jobs can disappear, businesses can fail, but control, if built correctly, can last forever. Think about it. If someone earns $1 million, but doesn't structure it properly, they can lose it. But someone who understands control can take even a smaller amount and protect it, multiply it, and keep it for generations. And this is where the real game begins. Section 2. Offshore Systems, 5:30 to 9:30. Now imagine this. You have millions of dollars. Would you keep all of it in one country? Probably not. Because every country has different rules, different tax systems, different levels of privacy. And this is exactly what the rich use to their advantage. They don't just operate in one place, they operate globally. This is where offshore systems come in. Now, offshore doesn't mean illegal. It simply means placing your money in another country, where the financial environment is more favorable. Some countries offer lower taxes, stronger asset protection, and more financial privacy. So what do wealthy individuals do? They legally move a portion of their wealth into these systems, not to hide from the law, but to protect themselves from unnecessary loss. Because for them, it's not about avoiding rules, it's about choosing the best rules. Now let's go deeper, because this is where things start to get really interesting. Imagine you want to buy a luxury mansion. Most people would buy it in their own name. Simple. But the rich, they rarely do that. Instead, they create a company, and that company buys the mansion. So technically, they don't own it. The company does. This is called a shell structure. A company that exists not to run a business, but to hold assets. Now, why would someone do this? Because it creates separation. If something goes wrong, their personal identity is protected, their assets are protected, and everything is organized into layers. And the more layers there are, the harder it becomes to connect everything together. Not illegal, just structured. Malefak, the one run quintegra. Now let's talk about something that confuses a lot of people. Taxes. Most people think the rich don't pay taxes, but that's not exactly true. They do pay taxes, but they pay them differently, because instead of ignoring taxes, they understand the system. And once you understand the system, you can work with it. For example, A business owner can deduct expenses. An investor can use depreciation. A real estate owner can show losses on paper, even while making real profits. And because of this, their taxable income becomes lower. So on the surface, it looks like they earned less. But in reality, they kept more. And that's the difference. Now imagine this. You want your wealth to last for generations, not just for you, but for your family. How do you do that? You don't just leave money behind, you structure it. This is where trusts come in. A trust is like a container. You place your assets inside it and define rules for how they are used. Who gets access, when they get it, and under what conditions. So instead of money being passed randomly, it is passed strategically. Protected from misuse, protected from risks, and managed over time. This is how generational wealth is built. And finally, the biggest shift of all. The rich don't store money. They convert it into assets because cash loses value over time. But assets, they grow. Stock, real estate, businesses. These are not just investments. They are systems. Systems that generate income while protecting wealth. So instead of holding money, they hold power. So the next time you think about wealth, remember this. The rich don't just earn money. They design it, they structure it, they protect it, and most importantly, they understand it. Because once you understand how money really works, you stop chasing it and start controlling it. And that is the real secret. Subscribe, because this is just the beginning.